Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we are going to be doing a 6-month honeymoon review of my 2004 Mitsubishi Outlander that I bought last year for $800. This video is basically going to be about the certain things that I've done to it. If you've been watching the videos, getting it ready for daily driving prep videos, it's a 3-part series. It pretty much goes over all the stuff that I did to fix it. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I just showed you what I did to get this thing ready to be a daily driver. So with the past several years, vehicle prices going up, getting a used car is a little bit difficult. The reason I got this because last year my Montero was down due to valve body and solenoid issues. It just worked out where I just need to get a daily driver, and I found this one. A buddy of mine hooked me up. So I paid $800 for this Outlander, and trust me, if you watch the videos, it looked the part. It's not pretty, it needs a paint job, and it had a lot of issues, which is why I was able to negotiate it to get it down to $800. Here it is. This is the Outlander right here. As you can see, it kind of looks different from when I got it. Okay, one of the things I did is change out the wheels. As you can see, these are not the wheels that came with this Outlander when I got it. It actually had steel wheels with hubcaps. Each side tire was completely different from the other, so you had 4 different brands of tires. What sucked is one of the steel wheels was bent, and there were some vibration issues. So I told the guy about the issue, and I bought it from, and he really helped me out. He said he had some wheels. I verified if they fit, and they do. These are actually not Mitsubishi wheels. These are actually from a Hyundai Tiburon, I believe like 2008, 2007. But it has the same exact bore size, lug pattern as the Mitsubishis, and even the Mitsubishi like center cap fits on these Hyundai wheels. I found some used tires, put them on. I found them, they were Coopers, the ones I found. So these are like 225 45 17 Coopers. Around October, me and my wife went to a friend's wedding, and on our way back, I was getting vibration. Luckily, it was right towards the end when we were heading home. I was getting some vibration. The next day I went to work, and it was getting worse. Come to find out, this side tire was separating. There was a bubble forming on it. Luckily it didn't blow. So I went to Discount Tire, got two front tires replaced. So 2 front ones are pretty much, or they basically brand new. It gives the Outlander a little bit more of a sportier look. Actually, I like it a lot better than the steel wheels. So that's what I changed. What else I changed? I put XLS fog lights on the Montero. I was gonna say Montero, the Outlander. So I went to the junkyard, and XLS showed up, and they got everything. The only thing I had to do, I thought the factory wiring was pre-wired. It is somewhat pre-wired, but it wasn't acting right. I couldn't figure it out. I bought the kit from Amazon. It fits Mitsubishi. So that's the fog light switch. That's where the factory location's at anyways. So yeah, I have fog lights now on the Outlander. And I upgraded the taillights. These taillights are from 05 to 06, the last 2 years of the production run of these CU chassis Outlanders. The original ones, I wasn't a big fan of it. I like this style better. So these showed up in the junkyard, and I got them. All I had to do really is the plugs for the taillights from the 03 to 04s are slightly different. I believe on the driving and braking lights, they're different on the 03 04s from the 05 06s. So all I did was I just took the 05 taillights and the harness for these taillights and swapped them out. The harness plugs right in and everything works perfectly as it should. So I didn't have to do any weird wiring or anything like that to make it work. So let's check out the interior. Since the dash is like half black and half this brown color, I kind of did some things while I replaced some of the door panels, especially driver's side and rear passenger side. I went ahead and kind of went on that whole theme to the rest of the interior. So like I said, this is factory, this is half black, half brown. So as you can see here is the armrest used to be brown, but it was so bad, I just got a black armrest from an Outlander, obviously with a black interior. And then you can see the door rests, they're black too. Factory's all brown, so it has a two-tone look. And then the speaker grill covers right there, they were brown too, so now they're black. So it kind of flows with the whole theme. I even did it the rear too. Got that whole black and brown theme in the back or in the interior. And then I had these headrests. These are actually from an Outlander, I guess, SE model, and they bolt right in. It kind of looks funky with the brown seat and the black headrest, but I just wanted these, so I put them on. I had them laying around the garage. That is the double din Pioneer head unit that was in our Gen 3 Montero that we had to unfortunately let go last year. So that was, I put this in the Outlander, switched out the single din, which was in bad shape. I did this used to be cigarette lighter, so I swapped this out. So it's a voltmeter to show me the voltage from the battery and the alternator, and then it's also a charger. So I have two, you have a USB-C charger here, and then USB 2 3.0. Whatever. Other than that, I added these little holders here. They're just holding my phone, one for the passenger side, one for the driver's side. Got some floor mats that I got. And let's check out the cargo. See, this is the cargo area. So I got this from when I was getting parts for the Outlander in the junkyard. I got this factory cargo privacy cover here. It's black, it's functional, and basic, nothing crazy. There's no system in here, no speaker system. I'm just trying to keep it simple here, nothing crazy, having it still functional. Some storage here. I'm gonna keep my stuff when I go grocery shopping, and then that, I believe, has the jack and good stuff there. Yeah, other than that, and then I added that, there was a cigarette lighter there, so that has like a USB charger back there. Nothing crazy. This just goes like this. Other than that, that's it. I had to replace this latch. It was kind of bent, so I would have to slam the door really hard to have it fully like latch and closed. So I did that, replaced that. I had to replace the rear windshield washer motor on there because the original, when I got it, the wiper would only, it was acting funky. It would only stop halfway. It would never rest. I would actually have to time it with the switch up front to make it sit normal. But once I replace it, it works like it should. All right, let's get with the engine bay. What did I do to it? Absolutely nothing. It is completely stock. Only things I had to do since I got it running is I had to replace the battery. Battery's new, newer-ish from December. I had to replace the alternator, and I had to replace the starter. Alternator I had to replace around November last year, and then the starter I actually replaced January. I'll have videos on how to replace those both. on the channel. And then when I had this removed, this was like a bare metal. I painted it black on the Outlander. It's completely stock, and the motor's really running good. I can't even complain. It's getting me an average 24-ish, 25-ish miles per gallon, especially during the winter months, fall, winter, early spring. I was averaging easily 25, 24 miles to the gallon, about 50% driving, 50% city. Now it's getting hot the past month or so, so I've been using the AC, so it dropped it down. I'm averaging maybe 22-ish. When I went on some out-of-town trips, so I was in the highway like 70% of the time, the Outlander was actually getting me like 27, 28 miles to the gallon. At one point, I did one fill up. It actually averaged me just basically it was like 29.7 miles to the gallon, basically 30 miles to the gallon. Listen, this is a 2004. This is a 4G motor. 4G motor is like, this was like 70s technology. They improved it a little bit with the MyVec for fuel economy and a little bit of like performance. For that's really good for 04 standards. I know today's standards, it's not that great, but I was getting like 14, 13 miles to the gallon on the Montero. So this is a huge improvement over for gas mileage for me, because this is now a daily driver. So I literally, because of my mileage, I might have the fuel up once every 2 weeks based on where I drive and where me going to work. The Montero would have to fill up every week. So on a full tank, it take 2 weeks. But I tried it like a couple times. I can go 2 weeks only filling up once. Montero, like I said, every week. But I typically fill up every week. I get close to like just under 3/4 tank, and it doesn't really cost that much. This thing runs flawlessly. I have not had any issues other than the alternator and the starter. And to tell you the truth, in those videos, there was the original alternator and the original starter when this thing was built in 2004, and they finally gave up in 2025, 26. So I commend Mitsubishi. That people give crap to Mitsubishi and how unreliable and that crap are. I've never had any catastrophic issues with my Mitsubishis. That's just me, because I take care of my cars, and this has been very impressive. So thumbs up to the good old 4G69. Okay, another thing I actually recently did, is I changed the brakes. So it was just a maintenance thing. The brakes that came with it were really bad. The rotors didn't look good, and the brakes were feeling kind of iffy. So I replaced them with these brakes I got from I think TRQ. So it's ceramic pads with slotted cross-drilled rotors. So that alone, I added like 10 horsepower to the Outlander. That was a joke. Stopping power is really good now. Big improvement, and honestly, it looked better too behind the wheels. Covered that basis. Now I'm gonna get to like my review of owning it. Things I like and things I don't like and wish it could be improved. So I'm going to start with things I like. Cargo room. Here, as a daily driver, that is one thing I love. And the amount of space that I have back here to use it is very practical. I've used this a few times to get stuff from Home Depot for like our landscaping, sod, mulch and all that good stuff. I'm going to show you what I mean about cargo space. So just with the seats the way they are, there's plenty of cargo space back here. Lots of it, obviously bigger than a car because I have the vertical room up here. Now when you fold these seats back or frontwards, you literally and they're so easy to hold on, just get the seat belt out of the way. here. Look at all that room back there. There's a lot. Now, if I get rid of that cover, it's even more. I don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about the cover, but look at all the space. It's probably you can't tell there, but tons of space. You can transport like a small desk or table back here. It's that's the one thing I love about this. It makes it so practical. I don't have to think twice. This is amazing. This is one thing I love about this Outlander. And the interior space on this first gen Outlander is really good. I'm 6'1". I'm fairly a big dude. All right, I'm not big, but I'm a big dude. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of space in here, so I'm gonna show you. Granted, I have the seat all the way back. I have plenty of space in here. I don't feel cramped at all. Like on the Montero, I feel a little bit cramped. Because the seat doesn't go back a little bit. I like to go back like an inch or two, but the seating position, the leg room on the driver's seat, really good. I mean, I could drive this. I don't feel uncomfortable. Let's just say that. So like I said, I'm like 6'1". I feel comfortable in this car. I don't feel like cramped. Okay, another thing I like about the Outlander is the AC in this Outlander. It is very cold. As far as I know, this is the original compressor when it was installed in 04. And I have to tell you, this thing is super cold. Gets cold really quick. Honestly, I don't have my windows tinted now. I think once I get them tinted, the inside of the Outlander is going to be really much more comfortable, especially now we're heading towards summer. Because I don't have tint, my AC's trying to keep up with all the sunlight getting inside the car, so it's heating up. But even with that, it is still very comfortable inside the Outlander. So I can only imagine once I tint the windows how much better it is. I might not even have to like put it. It only has 3 modes, 4 as far as blower speed. I might with tinted windows. Normally I have to keep it between 3 and 4 just to feel comfortable, especially when I'm going home from work and that's like peak heat. But I can see it where if I have the windows tinted, I might have just to do 2. That's one thing I love about this Outlander, especially in Florida during the summer months. You kind of need AC. My gosh, this thing blows super cold air. All right, another thing I love about this Outlander, it's practical and simple. What I mean by that is, like I said, I covered it earlier. It's practical. The cargo space, like I said, folding down the seats. Like if I need to do something and need to carry stuff, I don't really have to second guess and plan for it. It's there, you know. I have the cargo space if I need it. And what I mean by simple is, I get it. Some people love all the tech and like all these new cars have, but it's just nice to have a car with simple, straightforward controls and displays, like a simple analog display that shows RPM, fuel level, and all good stuff. That's cool. I don't need a digital display and fancy animations and stuff like that. I'm driving a car. I'm not watching a movie. I'm not playing a game. My AC controls are analog, straightforward, nothing crazy, just simple. Turn the knob, whatever. Even if it's buttons, that's cool too. But it's simple, you know. And my radio is separate from my HVAC controls. It's not built in. I don't have anything. I don't have to search through menus or look in weird spots just to do certain functions, right? That's what I love. I'm just driving the car. Okay, I don't need a theatrical experience. I just need the car to get me A to B reliably, somewhat engaging and fun to drive. That's it. I don't need a home theater experience on wheels. And I get it. Some people like that, and I'm not knocking you for it. For me though, I just want something simple, right? I love tech, but to me there's a certain degree when there's too much tech. Now it's to cover the things that I don't like or wish could have improved on this Outlander, right? No car is perfect, right? I'm gonna touch up on something simple, and I know it's simple. This is like first world problems. It's the cup holders. These cup holders are designed definitely like 90s, early 2000s. Maybe back then it was normal, but now everything's big. So, for example, my tumbler is huge. Okay, I have a Walla tumbler. I don't think it's that huge. I think it's normal size, but the base is, I guess, standard for most type of tumblers. It doesn't fit on the factory cup holders. So this is the factory cup holders, 1, 2, and they haven't. I guess back then this is kind of a common thing back then. Just not this car, but other cars for like a mug if you want to drink your coffee, type of deal, which is kind of not a thing now. So my tumbler would not fit in here. It's too big. So I had to get this thing here from Amazon, which goes to the base. You adjust it to fit, and then my tumbler goes on here. What sucks about this, it interferes my shifter. I kind of have to go like this or like this to shift. First world problems, but obviously something that wasn't really planned for. I don't blame Mitsubishi designers on obviously they weren't expecting someone to carry a tumbler back then. I think tumblers were not a thing back then. But that's the only thing that's one thing I don't like. Little bit minor inconvenience, but another thing I'm not a big fan with this particular Outlander is the rear drums. Unless you got the SE model, I believe that was like 2005, 2006. Every Outlander had rear drums. They have front discs, rear drums. Like I said, when I replaced the rotors, it improved braking, but I believe braking would have been a lot better if it had all 4 disc brakes on all 4 corners. But I get it. Mitsubishi was trying to keep this at a certain price range for a certain segment for consumers to get into this vehicle. I understand why they did it. I just feel though that if they had to charge an extra few thousand more to put disc brakes on these, it would have been so much better. And the reason I talk about brakes is I live in Florida, I live in Orlando. It's getting obviously more people here, so I'm using my brakes obviously because there's crazy drivers, there's a lot of stop and go traffic, and then it rains here during the summer. Having good brakes is not only for me as being confident that I can stop, but it's for safety also. And having the drum brakes, I can definitely tell the front feels more front biased because the rotors, the front discs have more bite than the drums in the rear. But even if I make sure the rear is tip-top shape with the drums, I just feel like disc brakes are much more superior. Alright, next thing I don't like, or that I think it should have been improved on the Outlander, transmission. And it's related to miles per gallon. The Outlanders in this generation came with 4-speed automatics, right? CVTs weren't really a thing. They were at their infancy, but fortunately, I prefer traditional automatic transmissions. Fortunately, this came with traditional automatic transmissions, but only 4-speed. The transmission works perfectly fine. It shifts smooth. I have 0 issues with this transmission. It's just what I mean by it related to miles per gallon. It would have been nice to have a 5th gear, because if I have a 5th gear, especially on highways, around 70 miles, I'm around 3,000 RPM. If there was a 5th gear, that would I'd be revving around maybe around the 2,000 range. And then obviously, since you're not revving that high, you're not using a ton of fuel to keep those revs high. If I'm getting like 27-ish Like I said, there was one time I got pretty much close to 30. If there was a fifth gear on this thing, easily 30, 35, or even more on the highway. Because now you're not revving at $3,000 to maintain 70 miles per hour. You're only revving probably barely in the 2,000 range. So your miles per gallon would increase by a sizable amount, noticeable. I wish it just had a fifth gear. I believe if it had that fifth gear, this thing would be 30 miles in a gallon easy. And that would have been really, really good. That's just my opinion. I wish that Mitsubishi had forward thinking, but I get it. They're trying to keep this at a certain price of range for certain customers to get into, because these were maybe like 20,000 brand new back in 2004, 2003, around that year range. So I get it, but I mean, I would have, if it was a couple extra thousand to add another gear, I think it would have been a lot more beneficial for in the long run. And another thing they could have done better on the Outlander are the front seats. The back seats are pretty comfortable. They're pretty plush. This was used. I don't know if the previous owner was a big person, but normal wear and tear or whatever, there was probably some wear on the bottom seat padding. There's definitely wear on the left lumbar support from the previous owner. But even when I was reading reviews, even brand new, these seats weren't. There were some reviews that I read that these seats weren't. Could have been better, and that's even more true after they've been worn down by a previous owner for 20 plus years. There is seat adjustments for the obviously moving it back and forth, moving the seat back, but it's very limited. You can't really adjust too much. I wish there was a couple more adjustment features, ability to adjust the seat. If I were to rate the seats, they're probably like out of 10, they're like a 5. They're not the greatest. Maybe down the road, if I find a newer-ish seats, better seats than used, I might swap them out. So there you go. That is my honeymoon review of my 04 Mitsubishi Outlander. So it's been a really good car. Other than, like I said, replacing the alternator and the starter and the initial repairs, this has actually been a very trouble-free car to own. I know I said I bought this for $800. I probably put another $500 in replacing, getting the starter rebuilt, getting the alternator rebuilt, and then the miscellaneous parts like the window regulator and the rear wiper motor, miscellaneous things to get the certain things of the Outlander fixed. But it wasn't really a lot. So $800 plus the $500, I'm in $1,300 in this Outlander, and I really haven't, like I said, I have really no issues since I've been driving it since September. So $1,300 since September, and all I've been paying is gas and I think 2 oil changes since I've owned it. $1,300 I spent. That's less than a car payment for some people, depending on the price of your car. The money I invested in the Outlander, my return has been a lot more, a lot more. And I know it's not a new car. It doesn't have all the new tech. It doesn't have all the lane assistance, I don't know, self-driving features, all that good stuff that all these new cars have, but that's not what I want for my daily driver. I really want a simple car that's not going to give me a lot of issues, and it's decent on gas, AC works, and that's it. I'm not, like I said, I don't want a home theater on wheels. I'm just trying to get to work, do my errands, and that's it. That's all I want out of this daily driver. I mean, if you are looking for something like this and a Mitsubishi Outlander first gen is not on your radar, make it your radar. This is a really good car, even brand new. It had a lot of people love this car. It had a reputation being reliable, being just generally a good car. And from my initial reviews, just doing research before I bought it, it's lived up to that reputation, and I'm very happy with it. If you're in the market, this is definitely put this on your list. Look for it. You can probably find these depending on the condition and the different parts of the world, the different markets. I mean, not the world, but in the country, United States. A fairly decent one, in good condition, you can probably get it for probably around the $3,000 range, a little bit more if it's lower mileage. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more when you get to like the 05, 06s. I mean, it's still affordable. I mean, $3,000 for a car, and you can buy it straight up. It's yours, and you don't have to worry about car payments. You have to accept the fact it's a little car, so it might need maintenance. You might need to invest some money to do the maintenance or whatever it needs. But after that, from my experience, I don't have any issues with this car. So I'm saying go ahead and get it if you're looking for a used car. First car for a teenager, young adult. Definitely look at this. You don't have to worry about a car payment. Just take care of it initially. Do your timing belt. Make sure you do the fluids, brakes, and all that, and you're not going to have an issue. So that's my impression for 6 months. My honeymoon review of this Outlander. It's been a great car, and if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. But yeah, I'm gonna probably do a year review on this, probably the next few months, probably end of the year. I do have some plans to give it the love it needs. It's been taking care of me, so I have plans to take care of the daily lander here. So it needs a paint job, so that's in the works. So stay tuned. I'm at the point where I'm happy with the car. It's mechanically fine. Now I can make it look good. I do want to ride nice, right? I do want to ride nice, so I'm gonna start making it look good now. So, but yeah, if you have any question, guys, leave a comment. I'm glad if you watched this video. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you like stuff like this. Later.